Hey, and what up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we got another segment with the legend Detroit News Rod Beard. Just really quickly, though, we got a special shout-out. What up, though, KG?
Yeah, we do. Shout out Michael Wary in the chat. Good morning, Woo Crew. He is celebrating his 64th birthday. He wanted a birthday shout out. Hey. And he said he finally get to see his Lions go to the Super Bowl, man. We ain't got there yet, but we hopeful, man. Shout out to you, Michael Wary. Happy birthday, brother.
Shout out. Happy birthday.
When I'm 64.
Hey, happy birthday to you, man. Hey, give him like the black version, right? The happy birthday to you.
Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday to you. Hey, let's get that drum roll going, man. It's just a musical day today. Hey, we got the Kool-Aid track in the background.
We do.
Please put some bars on that one.
I'll see what I can do.
Hey, let's get that drum roll going. Hey, yo! Shout out and welcome to the legend Detroit News Rod Beard Woodward Pistons segment. Hey, you know what? This one is a playing segment. They are tied still for that last playing spot. And you know what, Rod? They're playing. These are just some quick stats here. Playing 400 basketball. And you know what? They just had a 10-11 stretch over 21 games. We get to unseat the former best stretch of basketball, the 10-14 stretch with Jeremy Grant, all the way in Cade's rookie year. We've done it, Rod. We've come so far. People are starting to talk about Cade Cunningham as an all-star if the Pistons continue this. They say that they're just close. If they're within, like, striking distance of the play-in, he should get that nod. That was via ESPN. He's having a great year. He's doing everything we thought he could do. I know we've been kind of covering this thing for years now, which is amazing to say. And to see Cade Cunningham stepping into this place right now is pretty awesome. But Rod Beard, take it away with Rod's thoughts before we get into our swish or break, or as some of the uppity folks call it, our swish or break segment.
Cade Parker Cunningham, 29, 10, 15 dimes. That is $1.50, or, well, we won't get into the other definition.
Right. We know what you're talking about, Rod. We get you.
Swish or break?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And you can't do it before Swisher break either.
Right.
Cade is playing at an all-star level, and it's game by game, and it's not just these games that don't matter. This is a game against the Knicks in MSG, and we said the chemistry of this team was what was going to be the key. He is the straw that stirs the drink, though, and when he's playing at this level with a starting lineup that is kind of up and down, it shows you just the impact that he's having. This should be his all-star year. We said it at the beginning of the year, but he's really making it come true now.
He definitely is. And, you know, just some quick stats here on the Detroit Pistons before I bring up one more thing, and then we're going to throw it over to KG to get those questions ready.
Oh, yeah.
But the Pistons, they are 21st in points per game, 15th in opponent points per game. And they have an opportunity to be able to kind of climb that. And I believe that they might. I'm actually confident in them finishing as a top 15 defensively in a lot of their metrics, from defensive efficiency to opponents' points per game. I only believe that this team is going to get better as the season goes on, especially as Asar Thompson gets up to game speed and can play longer into games. We mentioned the 10-11, which is their best stretch since a 10-14 stretch with Jeremy Grant in Cade's rookie season. And just bringing that up, there are some players now that the rumors are they are on the trading block or available to, let's see what the offers could be. John Collins, Darius Garland, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Jimmy Butler. So there are some names out there that are interesting to keep an eye on. Obviously, Brandon Ingram is another one. The injury going on right now, but there's some people who believe maybe the Pistons should buy low. But there was this trade that kind of took over social media, Rod. Just wanted to get your thoughts on it. It's for our old friend Zach LaVine. We've tried this rodeo now for 2 years. So we're at another trade deadline. And this, listen, this one is the Bulls receive. This is a haul just for, or somewhat, for Zach LaVine. Isaiah Stewart. That's a punch because you're talking about your culture guy, probably your best defensive center or big right now. Tim Hardaway Jr., Simone Fontecchio, and a 2027 second-round pick. In the era of CBA, second-round picks have become much more valuable than they were prior. So you're giving up 3 players and the second-round pick. Isaiah Stewart is playing some impactful minutes. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been an impactful vet Simone Fontecchio has been mildly disappointing this season, and in that second-round pick. How you doing it, Rod?
Ooh. That's tough.
No.
I couldn't do it either.
No.
I couldn't do it.
I can't pay Zach LaVine $49 million in 2 years. Can't do it. I can't pay him $46 next year. Can't do it. Not Zach LaVine.
It's tough, man. I'm like, is there any other way to make this work without Isaiah Stewart?
You might be able to do it without Stu, but and giving away 3 and getting 1, is it just LaVine?
It's just LaVine, and that was my issue. Just LaVine, no big man help coming back. We're getting rid of our dog, our top defensive dog. There's nobody coming back, and that was what kind of worried me a little bit. We're gonna need something in that paint, something formidable, because I know Vooch. He's also on that trading block. His name has come up in rumors as well.
I'm not saying
I don't think there's any way they're going to bring him here.
I need something back. If it wasn't $48 million, I could feel a little bit better about it. I'm trying to look at their roster if there's anybody else.
Patrick Williams, maybe. Is he still there?
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Maybe.
Not Torrey Craig. You don't need another
Nah.
wing. Yeah, there's no.
It's tough. Can't do it.
No.
That does not.
It would have to be a 3-way deal and bring in somebody else to try to make that happen. But, yeah, no.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man.
Because his salary is so high, you just couldn't.
And I see Herb Nash. He said, we're worried about losing guys on a 10 and 15 team. LMAO. Well, when you're trying to build and you finally have a squad that is ascending to play-in status, that's huge. And you have to have your identity and your culture, guys. You see a clear difference when Isaiah Stewart's on the court versus not. And if they're bringing back somebody just serviceable or to replace, you're not going to really replace if it's just a serviceable big what he's bringing to the table. But you got to get somebody else back there. It can't be Paul Reed and Jalen Duren and then who else? That can't be what the Pistons are going to run out there. Defensively, we talked about how well they're doing, and Isaiah Stewart, he's played a really, really big part in that, and I definitely want to make sure that he gets his due on that. So, what about you guys? Anything on the trade before we get to switch break?
Let me very quickly. It would cost you next to nothing. Could you trade for Drummond and Reggie Jackson? Does that solve any of your problems?
I would do that. I would. I said in offseason, I thought that Andre Drummond, who wants to come here, was somebody that we should take a flyer on as a backup big, somebody who can help Jalen Duren, because Andre Drummond, what is he spending his time doing in his extracurricular activities? Speaking to young kids about maximizing your potential and your opportunities, talking about how, you know what, he's grown up a lot since he's and learned from his previous mistakes.
He ain't rapping no more.
And he ain't rapping no more. and he's
you don't know that. You don't know that. He might know that.
I know, you're right.
He's still serviceable, man. He can walk out there and he can get you that double-double. He's still going to be impactful in the paint. I wanted him here during the offseason. I really did.
Well, if you did something like that with Chicago, you would need some minimum contracts to come back, some vet minimum contracts, and I think you could get Drummond and Reggie. We talked about a veteran point guard. Philly are they really playing for it, and are those two pieces that they need in order to do it? That might be something they're willing to come off of.
Terrell Lamar, Kool-Aid want Zach on our team, bad as hell. For the right deal, man, let's rock, man. Just to get a guy in here that we talk about that star power. That is appealing, but for that price tag and for gutting the front court, you just can't do it while right now it's currently constructed. You know what? We'll save it because that might have something to do with our Swisher break.
Absolutely.
Let's jump into that. What up, though, KG?
Hey, so we're going to get Swisher break going, and this is pretty much ways the Pistons can stay in the position that they're in as they approach All-Star break. But first statement in Swish or Brick, the Pistons will at least make the play-in as currently constructed. Swish or Brick?
Hey, listen, right now, like I said, they're playing 400 ball. They probably should be better. They've shot themselves in the foot. But as they have caught stride after an 0-4 start, they are actually 10-11. 10-11. That 10-11 still includes games that Cade Cunningham did not play in. It also includes games in which they probably should have won. So they, in their last 21, probably should be over 500, but they are not. I do believe with a coach like J.B. Bickerstaff and what these players are showing, they will only continue to get better from here, even as currently constructed. Flannel Sam,
I am going to go Swish. Am I saying that they are going to be currently constructed the rest of the year? We don't know that. The trade deadline could present some interesting possibilities, but as currently constructed, I believe this would be a play-in team. I believe that they will know how to, as the season goes along, close some fourth quarters out, which they were not able to do at the beginning of the year, and hopefully Cade stays healthy, so I'm going to go Swish.
Hey, what up, though, JB Smooth?
I probably got to go Swish as well, too. I'm looking at their schedule right now. I think if you get a couple games, get some lucky breaks here, I definitely think that could happen as well. I don't know if the team will stay as constructed right now because, as Flannel said, that trade deadline is coming up. So you might see some movement there. It's not going to be for Zach LaVine, but there will be some movement. So Swish for me.
Hey, Kavasi and Chase, I know you're working hard over there, brother. But I want your input, too, man.
What's the question?
Hey. You want to run it back for him?
Yeah, the Pistons will at least make the play-in as currently constructed.
Yeah, I think they can, with the current roster.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. KG?
I kind of want to be the contrarian here. But nah, I think I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna stick with Swish, but I just need to see more from their bench unit, man. I don't think as currently constructed, the way their bench is playing, it's not sustainable, because if Malik Beasley has an off night, then you are dead in the water in terms of help. And you can only stagger, your starters' minutes so much. But that would be my only detraction. Otherwise, I feel like they do have enough to get to what would be probably 37, 38 wins in a play-in appearance.
37? Did he say 37?
Yeah. I said 35 for the year started, right?
Let's go.
What up, though, Rob?
Swish and break. Go. Swish and break. I am going to say Swish also. Because KG said it, I'm going with it. 37 is a man.
My dog.
Man, I'm with it. 37. Let's go.
Hey, let's go. This one is an interesting one to me because I believe that there are three players right now. There's Isaiah Stewart and the impact he makes defensively. You see certain things crater when he's not out there on the field. There's Jaden Ivey, who's hit a game winner this year and has stepped up a lot. He's proven that what we saw in the last 15 games of last year, where he made some extreme improvements to his free throw, field goal, and three-point percentage. Those things have not just carried over, but they have improved this year. But Malik Beasley has been that guy where when you look at all the Pistons wins, you're going to have Cade Cunningham there, and then you're going to have a Malik Beasley type of a night. And so, hey, Rod Beard, you know what? Think on it as we go around the room. Flannel Sam.
Malik Beasley. Ooh. It's Malik Beasley for me because he is the offense off of the bench, averaging 16 a game on 41% from three. And whenever he has minutes with Cade Cunningham, he's a reliable shooter for Cade to find in the corner behind the three-point line, wherever he may lie. And Malik Beasley is just continuing to knock them down. So give me Malik Beasley, somebody who has turned into a somewhat viable candidate for Sixth Man of the Year, at least getting some lower level votes. He's not going to win it, but he's been great.
What up, though, JB Smooth?
Check and make sure stick not anywhere around it.
So I know what you about to say.
I'm about to say Jaden Ivey. I just think he stepped up in a major way this season. You see the change in him from last year to this year. I just want him to keep making improvements more and more on the field, on the court, especially with this team right now. So give me Jaden Ivey for this one. Stick is not around. All right,
he's
cool.
not. He's good. You're good.
Cool. Okay.
Hey, what up, though, Cavassier Chase?
He's got to be Jaden Ivey as well. He's the second most important player on this offense. You got to see him be efficient and hopefully continue to see some more growth and development. Cade Cunningham needs, someone to, feed the ball to. So, hopefully they can play well together. And they're the future of the team right now. So, those are the two most important players.
I like that perspective, man. What up, though, KG?
It was supposed to be Tobias Harris, but we seen how that's going. I'm just
okay. You're right. Kindred spirits, man.
I told you I'm your spirit animal, right? I got you. But I don't want to pick Jaden Ivey just because he's clearly the most improved on this team. From defensively to everything he's done shooting wise from the field. But I would have to go with Malik Beasley as well. Me and Sam agreed perfectly on that. He is probably your best shooter on this team. He's the most dynamic shooter you've had in quite some time. And I'm really starting to feel like he needs to be more than just a 1 or 2 year solution if he continues to play like this. Of course, he's going to have nights where you got to take the good with the bad, but overall, he has been a great shooter and the medicine that this team has needed for so long.
And before Rod gives his answer with Malik Beasley, the other thing I've loved is just been the culture fit. Seeing him yap, seeing him just kind of being in the mix of things early on in the season, being one of those vets that's diving on the floor for the loose balls, seeing this guy as well off the court, I absolutely relishing in being here in Detroit. Man, not hiding his feelings, man. The last time I got to talk to him, hey, man, I want to be here. It's like, you know what? I like this guy. I really like what Malik Beasley's doing. But there are some viable candidates here, Rod Beard. What say ye? Which one?
Shameless plug. John Neo did a nice column today on Malik Beasley, and he said the same thing, that he wants to be here, and he wants to be beyond this year. It could be part of the building blocks to what they need. So I will say, who has been their most important player? Malik Beasley. Who will be their most important player the rest of the way here? Tobias Harris. Because he is catching on to what he should be. Remember earlier in the year, we were talking about he was shooting 13%, 15% from three.
Yeah.
He's got that number up to 34% for now.
Yeah.
So when he starts clicking into place and becoming a volume scorer like we thought he would be, that would be the differentiator between whether they make the play-in, the playoff, or anything else, or get to KG's 37. That will be Tobias Harris.
Let's Rod. And you know what, KG? I'm going to let you pick one. Because I know we have several. Save the rest because there's some good ones.
Okay.
I'll let you pick whatever the last one's going to be.
All right. Let's see. All right. The Pistons don't make the play-in unless blank.
The Pistons don't make the play-in unless blank. Unless, honestly, I think we've been saying it. There's two things for me. Tobias Harris, he has to step up and be that guy that he was signed to be. $25 million a year, $26 million a year over 2 years. 26 this year, 26 next year for Tobias. You want to see him be that guy. He was brought here to be not just this kind of complimentary piece, but a player that we can rely on in fourth quarter action, a player we can rely on to put the ball in his hands when necessary, and that Cade Cunningham wouldn't have to be just the only one. So that's what's been awesome about seeing Malik Beasley and Jaden Ivey. Oh my gosh, and Stick just popped up. As soon as I said Jaden Ivey, I said, hi Stick. I just said Jaden Ivey. You're right. I believe if Jalen Duren doesn't take that leap, if he doesn't, and I'm not saying something like a huge leap, but serviceable defensively, having similar impact, but with his type of measurable as Isaiah Stewart, Rod, I believe this defense will be able to be top 12 as it relates to defensive efficiency and opponents' points per game. Jalen Duren is the one to me. He has to get right. That, to me, I believe, can keep the Pistons out of the play-in. But let's go around the room.
Cade Cunningham has to play 70 games minimum.
Ooh,
because
that's a good one.
If we're talking about even 69 or even 69, shout out. That's him missing 13. That's him missing 13 games, and we've seen how this offense and this team has looked even when he missed for a stretch. So Cade Cunningham has to play 70 plus games.
Let's go, JB Smooth.
Jalen Duren, play some defense. Jesus.
Yeah.
Look, if Tobias Harris is not going to turn back the clock and be the old Tobias Harris, at least Duren, just play some defense, man. Grab some boards. Dude, help out just a little bit more. Come on, man.
What up, Doug Cavassier Chase?
What was the question again? Is this about Tobias Harris?
The Pistons don't make the play-in unless blank.
I'd say they get better interior defense. You gotta force tougher shots in the paint. You gotta play more disciplined. You can't let teams go to the line as much. You gotta focus on rebounding and prevent inside scoring. So that kind of comes down to Jalen Duren's growth.
Yeah, I'm a borrow from JB and Chase on that one. I was gonna say Jalen Duren is the key to all of this. I feel like, in terms of just his low post defense, just has to be better. I don't expect him to get much better in the pick and pop. I mean, that's just something that he seems he's going to be struggling with at least for another couple seasons. But if you can just be stout in the low post, I feel like this Pistons team can go a long way because defensively they've played better. Now, do they need to get better on the perimeter some nights? Yes. But ultimately, if Jalen Duren can just be consistent down there in the low post, I feel like they'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely. And what it's going to take is just learning before even how to pick and pop and all those types of things. how do you defend the big men that can pick and pop? That right now is what's getting him into foul trouble, which keeps him sometimes off the court or being able to play as aggressively as he wants to sometimes. When he's able to play super aggressive, we see him going out there and it's like 20-23 blocks and in his sleep. Rod Beard, what say ye?
Is it play in or play off?
Play in.
I'll stick with that. They won't go to the play-in unless they play better defense. They're playing much better than they have been, but they've got to be even better than they are now. If you say playoff, they won't make the playoffs unless they make a move before the deadline.
Hey, you know what, man? I think that's a Swisher break today.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one, too.
Yeah,
it's different when you're talking about a squad who, do we want to see them better than 10 and 15? Yes, but given the expectations, given the start to the season, there were a lot of people who told me that when you get through 30% of the season, which they're at 30%, they ain't even going to have 5 wins. Well, they got double that right now, Nate, and a lot of people, if you're paying attention, they should have more than that. I do believe that this team, they want to see Cade Cunningham make the All-Star team as well. Some people say that those things don't matter. This team wants to see Cade Cunningham get his accolades. They understand that this team performance so far has hurt that for Cade Cunningham. In years where he was worthy to get Rookie of the Year, in years where he was worthy to make certain aspects of, in my opinion, All-Star teams, but the team performance around him wasn't quite what it needed to be. And so it's awesome to hear that these guys want to help Cade Cunningham succeed. They want the Detroit Pistons to have a playoff game with hope and with future in mind as well. So they're gunning for this stuff. It was interesting to hear these guys talk before the season. And then to say, you know what, we finally feel like we're understanding where we have to go, and that JB Bickerstaff had a lot to do with that as well. So it's pretty interesting. JB Bickerstaff, he's been instrumental in kind of these, from the bottom to the playoff turnarounds in the past. He's done it in this Central Division before as well. But Rod Beard, any last words before we break it down?
We got to add a segment on the number of the day. Number of the day is 37. It's like Sesame Street. We need a number of the day. It's 37.
Let's rock. Shout out to KG, man. The Kindred Spirits, the Kindred Brothers. And you know what? Rod, when we do the cookout, man, you got the invite on the way. We are actually planning a cookout next summer. The content's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. Big fact.
It's going to be crazy. But thank you, Rod Beard, Detroit News Sports Editor-in-Chief. Great people over there. I heard you mention John as well. Great people. Every time I see him in the at the Pistons games and in the media room, he makes sure to speak. And those guys have helped me feel very, very comfortable doing my job there. So shout out to Detroit News and a lot of the Detroit media, a lot of good people. But Rod Beard, you're probably one of those brightest stars in my opinion. So shout out to the legend, man.
The legend.
Hey, let's go.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Rod.
Appreciate you, Rod.
Hey,
All right.
let's
See you next week.
See you next week. Let's get into this next segment. 313-552-6322 is the phone lines. We will take some phone calls, and then we'll get into what's trending. And then right back to Feldman Mailbag. We will also go back to the Feldman open lines as well. So, JB, let's get to that next segment, brother.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you about jars first.